Okay, filming an intro for the next 78 Camaro video. You can see the bumper is still sitting where we left it. He's been packaging some things up, it looks like. I just got here and turned the heat on. It's a little chilly in here. You know, I think it's 39 or 40 right now. But you can see he's definitely gotten a little bit done on it. So I have an odd suspicion that getting that nose cone off is a big part of our night tonight. So we will continue. There are little clips here that have been here probably since the car was new. And, you know, just like you do on disc brakes or whatever when they're putting them on. I'm going to try to save them. No guarantees. Wow, that's heavier than it looks. We're both panting. Of course, you know, being a fat old guy, what do? Well, those two frame horn extensions, they're pretty hefty. And you got to go up, and yet, you know, they're stuck on the frame. But those top bars go through the hole there.
And it's already notched for the big block.
Yeah, it's whew. Yeah, that's heavier than it looks. Okay, we ran this for the last time that it's going to run in this car, I think. Got a little video of that. And now we're looking at what we got to pull to get these fenders off. Excuse me. So we know, well, a couple of the bolts aren't going to be a problem because they're freaking completely rusted away. But we'll go through here, start sourcing out which bolts. We were already looking at this extension to the core support, and on the inside you can see where it's spot welded, so we do have to pull all those bolts that are going around. So those will be fun. Then there's some to this plate here, some down lower. And then obviously to the inner, he's already got the one back here. And I don't know if this car has one inside the door frame. We will look at that in a bit. And of course there's always one or two down here, which if you recall, we saw the delete over here to show us where that bolt was. You know, a little rust always helps. So we're just sorting it out. Okay, so there was a bolt behind the door, and the rust got this, so we couldn't unplug it, so we had to just pull it. So now we'll go set that in our pile of parts. Well, there, that just made changing the spark plugs 100 times easier. You just reach right on in there. Keep saying rust is a real problem in Minnesota. As you can see, always got to fight it. We won that fight, heated it up, hit it with an impact, and zip zap, out it came. Show this one. That bolt also just as rusty. The downside is I can't get the impact in there where that is, so we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, by hand. But just kind of warm it up a little bit, let it expand and push some of the rust out. A lot of times that'll help, not always. And sometimes you set your car on fire because, you know, old crap. All right. Well, I can't hold the camera and give it a try, so I'll let you know if we win. That one wasn't even fair. We knocked that out no problem. So now, whole fender's loose, so we can open the door, pull the last bolt. We don't have to pull those low ones. They rusted out years ago. Front end is now off the car. There's a long way to go on this project, but you can see we're getting there. Here you can see, since this car didn't have any of the power features, but that's where a wiring harness could be passed through. And same on the drivers. And you can see they fit a lot of stuff in these things. You know, the emissions were starting to get bad. Now obviously this car doesn't have most of that on it anymore, but it started getting pretty bad. You got vent lines running everywhere, and canisters, a bunch of vacuum switches everywhere. No, you generally got to do a little work to make these fun to drive again. Okay, and this is why you always have to play fender games if you're doing anything with the heater core or the blower motor or anything on these cars, is these two bolts here, or these little nuts here, and this one here, hard to get at when the fender's on to get the blower motor out. But this bolt back here is impossible. So this bolt and this bolt are two that you're gonna be monkeying with the fender for. And, you know, nobody likes to. On some of the cars, especially on like the B bodies, you can kind of pull the inner fender and slide it over, and you pull the bottom bolt and the fender comes out. You wedge 2x4 in there, you can kind of get in there and get it done. But yeah, these are never very fun to get at. Okay, and there's that leaky heater core that we don't need, because big block conversion is going to change that anyway, because these tubes would be in the wrong spot. And I don't know about second gens, but on first gens, big blocks, the heater tubes come out of the cover. So we'll be finding out on these. Just the people up with where we're at. Okay, so we got this fan shroud out, we got the fan out, the water pump pulley, and the belt for the alternator. Not going to worry about running those. Keeping the power steering for a little bit here. One, because it'd make a big mess, but two, he still wants to be able to drive this from this stall into that room over there. Not because it's that hard to push or anything, he just wants to. So we're keeping it all running. I think we are going to still drain the cooling and pop that down and throw a hose on the tranny lines to keep those out of the way. But then we can get the core support out of here. And yeah, this is actually coming down pretty quickly. So far, yeah, just a handful of broken bolts. It's not too bad. Okay, quick update for the people. We didn't make too big of a mess. The petcock was draining too slow, so we wound up pulling a radiator hose. And now we're getting ready to pull this core support off of here and set that to the side as well. Alright, now it's all apart. So look at that. Now that's the easy way to change something on the motor. You just take the whole car off of it. So everything that was there is now all over the floor. But, you know, it gets a few days to sort it all out. But imagine, once he gets this window out, gets this rear interior out, starts pulling all this apart, you know, it takes a little time, but it all comes down to fighting rust. And he wants this to be a fun toy. So, you know, it just kills you. That is all just completely eroded away. And this looks factory new. You know, it's just the salt. What do you do? Like I said in another video, the interior isn't terrible. This is all very, very savable. You know, this can be worked with. It's that same brown. You know, you see that saddle color a lot. But yeah, this is going to become a fun car. Well, a sure sign of an awesome brake system. Luckily, none of that's getting reused. Well, that's going to be a wrap on this 78 Camaro video. We made a big mess. We took an awful lot of it apart. So we will do updates in the future as interesting things happen. Thanks for watching. This has been a ShopRex approved video. Have a great night. Thanks for watching.